experienced body man. I tried to learn the trade. I'm not going to say I tried. I did learn quite a bit. I was right up to pretty much everything but doing frame straightening. I worked on a Corvette. I worked on a tonneau cover. That's fiberglass. Except for there was something that happened in between those years when I worked there, 2004 or 5. I'm just guesstimating. I was in Grand Prairie from like 2003 to 2006. So somewhere in there. Fiberglass hoods on trucks are SMC. Never heard of it. They're like, we're going to do some fiberglass repair. I'm like, I got you covered. So what do we go down to the body shop. We spent $1,000 on auto body stuff, and I was just pulling it out of my head. I'm like, okay, this is what you should need. I've done a couple repair stuff, like to my own stuff, like sandblast the whole car and just. I'm like, yeah, it'll be broken in a year anyways. It doesn't matter if the bondo falls out. So anyways, yeah, I had a small learning curve. Somebody who knows auto body work will be looking at this going like, you're using the wrong resin. So you can use the matte. You're not supposed to use the quilted matte, but I got the right matte. I had the wrong resin. Supposed to get SMC resin. It's hard as a rock. It should be fine. And turns out everything's going to the sale anyway, so it didn't matter. So anyways, I'm sure you guys have seen this hood split in some of my videos. I've showed it from time to time. I've drove this truck a few times. This is like the first winch tractor they ever had. It's got 1 million plus, I don't even know what. It's not super old, but it's pretty punched out. Everybody's had their turn. So we try to reinforce it. Obviously, you lay all your matting on the inside after you grind it out. You'd use some, like I was taught, 36 grit. You want something coarse so the resin can bite in with the fiberglass and all that. So we just tape the outside, lace the inside thick, wait for it to harden, peel the tape off the outside. So when you crack fiberglass, you gotta open it up. You can't just smear over the crack. You gotta open it up and you gotta V it out somehow. Unfortunately, we don't have some certain tools because we're a mechanic shop, it's a trucking shop, not an auto body shop. So we're doing the best we can. So this is where you're going to want to be pretty handy with spreading with the trowel. I'm pretty good at laying it down nice and smooth. You don't want to get bumps. You don't want to get too thick along the edges. You kind of want to feather your edge. You got to have that nice, or else you're going to be there sanding too much and you're going to burn through. Depends on your experience, right? So the smoother you put it on, the easier it is to take off. I've learned this. Because you start out in an auto body shop, they give you small stuff and get you to learn. They're like, the more you put on, the more you're going to have to sand. So you're going to want to get real good at feathering that edge to where you're not going to be sanding, and then taper it up to where you're making the repair, right? But you don't want a big mound. Small spots are hard to work in, so sometimes just use your finger and just jam it in there. You're sanding it off anyways, it doesn't matter. But smooth is best. And this fiberglass Bondo hair stuff, gorilla hair, it's got a couple different names. You can kind of put it on whatever you want. As long as it's not shiny paint, you can put it over top of paint, but it's got to be sanded, something kind of rough like 120.
Market.
We bought enough supplies so we could do like every truck in the, well, not all the trucks. We got like maybe 4 trucks that need some repairs. This one is the worst by far. The rest of them just have one side or the other, maybe a crack here and there. We're not worrying about the spiders. Doesn't matter. And then, so now we're gonna block it out after it hardens, of course, right? When it hardens out, then you're gonna block it out. You need something flat and straight. We got Velcro back paper, and I'm gonna start with using, I think I went with 80 grit. I think I got lots of aggressive because I'm like, remember, gorilla hair being super tough to sand. So I'm like, I want 40, I want 80. I maybe even got 60 in there too. I got 120, I got 320, I got 400. I was ready to go from start to finish.
Tell ya. Sure nice.
High spots. It's extremely hard to make a reinforcement on the outside because you're going to have to take off a bunch of material. So what I did, I used the 90-degree little tiny hand die grinder with 36-inch grinding wheel on it. Norton grinding wheel, which are the bomb. And I took off as much as I could, and I'm like, okay, we reinforced it from the back, but there's also a second layer as well behind that. I'm like, we're not delaminating the inner structure to reinforce it so we can laminate it back together. I'm like, forget it. I'm like, I didn't want to be part of any of this, and all of a sudden I'm doing the whole thing. So we're just you got to take off a certain amount of material on the face of it, and then you got to put the mat on the outside. There was holes all over the place. It was all busted and it was riveted together. Someone drilled a bunch of holes and riveted tin plates in there. I'm like, yeah, that's fixing it. Another problem you're going to come across if you're used to doing body work but never done fiberglass. So when you do molded stuff like this, maybe not in like Corvette and your high-end sports car stuff, but there's divots and waves in this mold all over the place. So technically you're not going to see this. And by the time we put on the chrome covers that go around the air cleaners, and that's right where the latch is for the hood, I'm like, you're not going to notice that there's a small hump, so the two high spots will stick through. Try to cover it as much as possible, but fiberglass molds aren't perfect. So you'll be sanding and all of a sudden there'll be a high spot or it's wavy. You can feel it with your hand if you got good sense of feel.
Damn!
Since my gorilla hair bodywork was so fine, I can get away with using icing because I'm just going to use it to fill the scratches. But I'm just going to sand that off lightly and it'll be good. I might go on 2 coats just to make sure. Icing is supposed to only be used for light scratches, skim coats, rock chips, thin finishing. You don't want it thick because it's pretty brittle and it's not that strong. It's kind of soft.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
enough for primer. Go a little deeper there. There's a couple pinholes. Fill the rest of the pinholes. Normally you would Gorilla Hair, which is the thick stuff I put on the outside, and then you would Bondo. But we didn't have any Bondo, so all I had was finishing putty. It's going to the sale anyways. It's got a little bumps to it in spots, but fiberglass molds are never straight anyways, so it doesn't really matter. If it was a flat steel panel, it would be mint. Shout out to GP Industrial Park Auto Body for showing me the skills, yeah. Worked there for a couple of years and got to learn the trade. Come in on a Saturday when no one's around, get it all finished up. Monday I'll come in, primer it, sand the primer, and I think we're just gonna kind of, I don't know what the plan is. Wants us to do it all. I'm like, we can't paint. I'm like, I can't paint it. Well, I can, but I don't want to. Like, I don't trust myself. Painted my cousin's truck with single stage. Holy shiner, am I gonna slip right off the pedals? I feel bad stepping in here now. Somebody was saying, where's all the Peterbilts? You guys hate Peterbilts? I'm like, no, we don't. Here's one. Here's another one. This must have a high volume power steering pump. It's nice. It steers nice. Here's your chance to own a low mileage picker. 45 ton. Pretty nice truck. Scratch the bumper on this thing. Oh, hello, old friend. I went for the stick. That's funny. Got a habit of doing that when I started. I'm always like, yeah, it's in neutral. Well, it's in third. It's locked up. What's up with that? Someone left their almonds. Holy, it's only got 3,900 or 39,000 K. 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 2,200 hours. Sad, sad, sad. Better make it straight. Got a new Nissan Space Cab. It's a real nice truck, actually. It's one of the nicest ones I've ever ran. But there's lots of them out there for sale because it's just not working, and people that got one, there's going to be another 20 plus at the sale here soon from Northwell. Yeah, I've done a video on this guy. Pretty much done a video on most of our stuff. We only had like 500 hours on this thing, or 400 hours when I first got here. Got to run it for one winter. Well, he's probably seen a couple videos. But it's nice and high and big. It's nice. Scorch? Never heard of one. Bruh. It looks like someone was doing a little bit of polishing on them because these weren't that shiny. Maybe not. Alright. Goodbye.